Let's get things started. Ready? Go!
Hello and welcome to Bounty into Comics. My name is John Trent. I'm the founder and editor-in-chief at Bounty into Comics. Today I got a story about Fargo actor Allison Tolman, who played Molly Solverson on the show, recently demanding that Hollywood writers and showrunners remove, quote, jokes about weight, end quote, from their scripts. Tolman, who also plays Winnie McClendon in Gaslit, made her demands known on Twitter. She tweeted, "Writers and showrunners, take the jokes about weight out of your scripts. I promise they aren't funny, and even if they were, they won't hold up well. And even if they did, they're unkind, either to your characters and actors or someone in your audience or crew. It's not worth it." She would continue her thread detailing that she doesn't just want jokes about weight removed, she has a laundry list of the types of jokes that should not be included. In a subsequent tweet, she wrote, "Jokes about weight don't have to just be jokes about a character's body. They can also include making mention of the numbers on a scale, what someone eats, what size their clothing is, exercise, and movement." Next, she demanded that showrunners and writers remove body descriptions. She tweeted, "And when you're ready, begin to wrap your mind around removing body descriptors from your scripts altogether, including character descriptions and the names of minor roles." She went on to clarify, "I'm not saying you shouldn't use adjectives, but please don't say Linda, the main character's cousin, thin and witty, unless there's an actual reason Linda needs to be thin. And please don't say fat lady in theater when you mean annoying lady in theater." Tolman then specifically took issue with descriptors for small bodies. She tweeted, "Oh, and also people think it's okay if they're using descriptors for small bodies because they're considered complimentary. Like you're auditioning for a skinny intern. Congratulations. But do you see, that is the exact point, and surely you understand how weird that is." Finally, she concluded her thread tweeting, "The audience only knows the values you assign to different body types if you have characters saying lines about them. But the rest of your script, that's your crew, writer's room, everyone in the office, executives, creative partners, all the people helping you make your show." I have absolutely no idea what she's trying to convey there in that last tweet. It doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. That aside, Tolman recently appeared in a featurette for the Paramount Plus series Why Women Kill. In that show, she plays a character named Alma Philcott. In the featurette, while not cracking a joke about weight, it specifically discusses the character's fashion choices and the size of the dresses. Remember, one of Tolman's demands is that you not make mention of what size their clothing is. Except she appeared in a featurette specifically discussing the show's clothing and that clothing's size. So the show's costume designer, Janie Bryant, says in this featurette, "You know, a very significant thing also in the beginning for your character was about these costumes being oversized, ill-fitting, really just almost like a sack in a way." Brian added, "I mean, to all help play into the story of you really not being fulfilled and just like a very lonely person." Clearly, she's talking about the size of the clothes, which, according to Tolman, is now a no-no. But it gets even worse. The featurette actually shows a clip from the show of another character telling her character not to wear the clothing that she's in. So it goes completely against what she is now demanding Hollywood enact. Given these demands, one wonders if Tolman will be exiting her role as Alma Philcott, given she's now demanding that Hollywood showrunners and writers not mention dress sizes, and she clearly is in a role where the dresses are mentioned and the dress sizes are mentioned. Nevertheless, it looks like if Tolman does get her way, we're going to see a lot of stand-up comedians and actors out of a job. Specifically, we'll see Jim Gaffigan out of a job. He has a whole bit where he lists the perks of his fat body as part of one of his Netflix stand-ups. And it won't just be Gaffigan. Gabriel Fluffy Iglesias will also be out of a job as well. He has a routine where he discusses the 6 levels of fatness. That is absolutely hilarious. I highly recommend you check that out if you haven't already. On top of these stand-up comedians and actors being out of a job for their jokes about weight, almost all jokes will be off the table if we take Tolman's logic and follow it to its logical conclusion. If you can't tell jokes about weight because they are unkind, then you can't really tell any kinds of jokes that might be unkind. That would more than likely include any and all jokes because it is likely someone somewhere would find the joke unkind. Aside from pretty much wanting all jokes banned, Tolman's idea of removing body descriptors from characters is also absurd. Can you imagine applying this demand to Tolkien's The Lord of the Rings? In Tolkien's prologue for The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring, he describes hobbits. He writes, "For they are a little people, smaller than dwarves, less stout and stocky. That is, even when they are not actually much shorter. Their height is variable, ranging between 2 and 4 feet of our measure. They seldom now reach 3 feet, but they have dwindled, they say, and in ancient days they were taller. Tolkien would not have been able to write that if he was creating his story for television in Hollywood today that accepted Tolman's demands. So her demands are completely and utterly ridiculous, and they're not just ridiculous, they're also idiotic, and in my opinion, they should be completely ignored. These ideas are just absolutely stupid and dumb and are a symptom of the rot in Hollywood. Those are my thoughts on the matter. Let me know what you think. My name is John Trent, and you've been watching Bounding into Comics.